Hey WWE Universe, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a major change that's shaking up the world of professional wrestling. That's right, Monday Night Raw is cutting down its runtime from 3 hours to 2 hours, starting later on this year on the USA Network. And I'm a little late on this video. Basically, the update as of right now is that once Raw moves back to Netflix, it's expected to be 3 hours as well. And SmackDown itself is also expected to change to 3 hours. Although there is another report saying that that's only going to be a temporary change. That's only going to run until June. So I guess we'll see how things play out. But the purpose of today's video is to not only provide wrestling content, which I was told I should keep doing that. And truth be told, I had plans to keep doing that. But also, I want to kind of just do a little bit of an exercise. I talk about the pros and the cons of this big shift and what it means for the future of Raw, especially with the upcoming move to Netflix, and kind of just make a argument for either keeping the show at 2 hours or moving it back to 3. And with that, let's get into the pros of Raw being 2 hours, and we start with point number 1, which is better pacing. With a shorter runtime, the show can maintain a faster pace, keeping viewers engaged from start to finish. Although I will give Triple H credit, he has done a great job of keeping Raw entertaining from hour 1 to hour 3. Certainly better, and I think that was the issue I had with Raw when Vince was running creative. It kind of felt like a slog, but recently though it's kind of felt pretty good to get through those 3 hours. Point number 2 is less filler content. 2 hours means less time for filler segments, leading to more focused and impactful storytelling. Another thing I gotta get Triple H credit for is that it seems like he's kind of moved away from the filler content. Not saying it's completely gone, but it's not as noticeable as it was when Vince was running the show. Point number 3, viewer satisfaction. Fans have been vocal about the 3-hour format feeling too long. A 2-hour show is more digestible and enjoyable. Now I will say I haven't heard as many calls for Raw to be shorter. I think that one's kind of died down, but that was certainly for a long running stretch of time. That was a sentiment among the WWE Universe. And point number 4, increased demand. A shorter show can leave them wanting more effect, potentially increasing anticipation for each episode. Think about the way this Friday Night SmackDown ended. We're all going to want to see what happens on the next episode. Now let's move to the cons of Raw being 2 hours. Number 1, less airtime. So with less time, not all wrestlers will get the screen time they deserve, which could hinder character development, especially if there are other stories that are a higher priority that are taking up the majority of the runtime. Number 2, fewer matches. A shorter show means fewer matches, which might disappoint fans who love in-ring action. And number 3 is commercial impacts. Less runtime could mean fewer commercial breaks, potentially impacting the advertising revenue. That's certainly a possibility, although I would argue that the commercial breaks are a bit much as they are. Granted, it would be nice if we could just get commercial breaks after matches and not during matches. That would be a nice thing to see there. And now we move on to the pros of Raw going back to 3 hours on Netflix, which starts with point number 1, more content. 3 hours allows for more matches, segments, and storylines, giving fans more content to enjoy. Number 2 is showcasing talent. With more time, a wider array of wrestlers can be featured, helping to build new stars and develop characters. And number 3, in-depth storytelling. Longer episodes provide the opportunity for more complex and detailed storytelling. And lastly, we move to the cons of Raw being 3 hours on Netflix. And number 1 is viewer fatigue. 3 hours can feel like a marathon depending on how the show is scripted and how the show is put together, which can lead to viewer fatigue and potentially lower engagement. As I talked about earlier at the top though, Triple H has done a great job of, I think, kind of dealing with viewer fatigue. And number 2 is more filler content. To fill the extra time, there might be more filler segments that don't add much to the overall show. Again, at the top, I talked about Triple H has done a good job kind of mitigating filler content. And point number 3, production cost. Longer episodes can increase production costs, which might not be sustainable in the long run. However, and I only bring this up because it's something that could happen, but I don't think WWE's ever really been concerned about production costs when it comes to running 3 hours of Monday Night Raw, and I don't really see that changing anytime soon, but it is a point to kind of file away in case maybe it does become something. But nonetheless, as of right now, I don't see that being that big of an issue. And with that, we reached the conclusion of this episode. So what is the final verdict? While there are benefits to both formats, keeping Raw at a 2-hour runtime seems to be the best move. It ensures a tighter, more engaging show that keeps the fans excited and coming back for more. Plus, it aligns with the modern viewer's preference for shorter, more concise content. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more WWE content. Until next time, WWE Universe, stay awesome.